Welcome everyone to the Hellenic Film Society webinar to promote the Greek Film Expo, which is taking place this week through July 20th. And we have a selection of 10 Greek films. And with us today, we have representatives of the Greek Film Center. Venia will join us shortly. She's not on camera, but we will expect her shortly, Venia Vergou. We have from the EKOME, which is part of the Greek ministry, we have Vasiliki Diagouma, and from Faliro House, Fani Skartouli, from Bad Crowd, Nikos Moustakas, and from Heretic Films, Konstantinos Kontarakis, who is substituting for his partner, Giorgos, who had to step out today because he's currently working on a film project. So, I don't know if the people on the panel are aware of Heretic Films, which is here in New York. It's a company founded by John Sloss. John Sloss, during the COVID, has been hosting a series of webinars, and he's at the top of his talks. He usually starts with a joke. I'm not going to do that, but I will just read from something that was sent to me last night, which I found funny. I'm sure all of us being Greek can relate, but it said there are 10 signs you grew up Greek in a Greek household. I won't read all 10, but the first one says it took forever to say goodbye to people at parties. I can certainly relate to that. And 9 and 10 is your name is from your grandparents. And 10, no one can pronounce your name correctly. So you can see, even as a Greek American, I'm having trouble with some of these Greek names. But we'll start first to have everyone, if you could, just say something about yourself, where you work and your background and how you got to where you are. I guess we can start with Vasiliki.
Well, thank you, George. Thank you for the invitation to this webinar. My name is Vasiliki Diagouma. It's a difficult name to pronounce even in Greek, so no yield there. I am head of communications and international relations at EKOME, the National Center of Audiovisual Media and Communication, which is a state company supervised by the Greek Ministry of Digital Governance. My background is in communications and international relations. I worked in diplomacy for many years, but my love for the creative industries was one of the things that attracted me most. And the project of EKOME and what we're doing for the audiovisual industry in Greece is what inspires me most. So I'm very happy to be part of it.
Okay, Nikos, you want to go next? Nikos, we don't have your audio, sorry.
Okay, now.
That's better.
My name is Nikos Moustakas. I'm just a producer for 40 years now, and have produced many films and TV series. The last year, I collaborated with EKOME in 3 projects. I'm very happy about this. And I'm waiting the new platform to apply again. I'm very happy that I'm in your panel. I know all the others, and
right.
That's it.
At some point, I know someone's going to say Greece is a very small country, but it's actually, when you travel around Greece, it's actually seems like a much larger country than you'd think. But Nico, so how long have you been in the film business? I mean, have you always been a producer?
I'm in the film business from 1976. I'm just very old. It's not looking like this, but I'm very, very old.
So a lot changed from the 70s to today in Greek cinema, for sure. Konstantinos.
Hi, I'm Konstantinos Kontarakis, another complicated long Greek name. I represent Heretic. Heretic is a boutique film house based in Athens, Greece. We are a production house and an international sales agency that is based here in Greece, but functions internationally. We do film productions, both locally and internationally, and we also have a different side in the company, another leg in the company that does international film sales for films that we produce or films that other people produce from all over the world. Yeah, technically I'm one of the co-founders of the company, and I'm one of the producers in the company. So working a lot with many of the Greek institutions and organizations, EKOME, of course, being one of them.
So Heretic is, when was that company founded?
It was founded in 2013, so we're not that old. I co-founded it with my business partner, Giorgos Karnavas, who was supposed to be here today instead of me, but had to run an urgent errand for one of our current productions. We had been working together as a producer duo, as two independent film producers, making films together before we decided to set up Heretic. Initially as a film production company, but very soon after we, here she is.
Oh, Venia.
So very soon after, hello Venia. Hi.
Hello everyone.
Hi. So very soon after after we set up the production company, we decided to introduce the sales activity together with Ioannis Nastais, who's our head of sales and acquisitions. And since then, we've been expanding as a film house that does both production and sales.
So before you started Heretic, before that you were involved with Greek cinema. I understand were you one of the programmers at the Vasiliki Film Festival?
Yes, I was. I started my career mostly. Actually, before that, I was a film journalist. Then I was working with Thessaloniki Film Festival for 10 years. For the first part as a head of communications, and then as a programmer, as one of the programmers. And yeah, as of 2010, I decided to turn to production. Yeah, so I've been producing for the last 10 years.
Well, thank you for stepping in at last minute. We really appreciate it. So I'll have Fani introduce herself, and then Venia will come back to you.
So hi everyone, my name is Fani Skartouli. I'm a producer with Faliro House. I'm quite new in the film industry. I joined Faliro House in 2018. And before that, I was a lawyer. I have a legal background. I studied in France and in Greece, and I was working for about 10 years in law firms in Athens and abroad. And Faliro House is a film production company established in 2008. And it has a long record of best practices and films service produced by the company, and most notable names include Before Midnight by Richard Linklater, the BBC series The Little Drummer Girl, and last year we produced Born to be Murdered, an English-speaking film produced by an Italian production company owned by Luca Guadagnino. So yeah, I think that's more or less what I can say for now. And if you have any questions.
Right, I know that Faliro House does a lot of international co-productions and is associated with Film Nation in New York, and has done a lot of great films. I know Heretic made some great movies. We had Still River last year in the festival, part of our monthly series at MOMI in collaboration with MOMI. And I know there's, that's long-term plans for your company to start doing more international co-productions. And I know you're already doing that. I mean, you had a film last year in Tribeca. I think, was that the Bulgarian film, or was Ukrainian? I forget. Konstantinos. It was the, why am I blanking on the name? It was in Tribeca Film Festival. It's escaping me, but it was an award-winning film when we had it as well in our festival last year. Venia, with the Greek Film Center as the director of the Hellenic Film Commission, if you could give us a little information about you and your background and where you started in this business and how you ended up at the commission.
First of all, thanks for this invitation and the initiative for this webinar. As you said, I'm Venia Vergou. I'm the director of the Hellenic Film Commission since March 2017. The Hellenic Film Commission is one of the divisions of the Greek Film Center. And how I ended up here, I started my career like Konstantinos as a film critic. I was a film critic for about 10 years. Then I moved towards production for a while. I also had a position as the head of communication and programmer at the Greek Film Archive for about 3 years. And after that, I was also participating at a film program organized by Documenta, a very established arts exhibition which is based in Kassel in Germany, but for the first time was opening in Athens. And after that, I got this position at the Film Commission. And recently, my position was renewed for another 3-year term. And the Hellenic Film Commission is a member of the European Film Commissioners Network and also a member of the Association of Film Commissioners International. So we can talk about what we've been doing here for a long time further on in the discussion.
So, okay, I didn't get to really introduce myself. I'm on the board of the Hellenic Film Society USA, and today, you know, this is the first of several conversations on film in Greece, and so we're very happy that you all made yourselves available to participate. Obviously, I'm calling in from New York, and it's late morning for us. I know it's getting later there for you guys, so to stay late to participate and be part of this panel, we really appreciate it. I'm going to start with Venia because I know the Greek Film Center, Greek film industry started in the 1920s, so it's been around a long time. The Film Center, my understanding, was the one organization that really supported the film industry in Greece, even though the Hellenic Film Commission, I know, looks to promote all films in Greece as a production location, but if it oversees the Film Commission, which I understand, that the Film Commission specific to Greek films. Now, maybe that's changed, maybe that's how it started. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about the Film Center, its origins, and where it is today, pre-EKOME, and what it's going to look, what it looks like now that EKOME is on the scene.
Well, the Greek Film Center, as you said, is a quite old institution. It's been on for over 30 years now, since the 70s, early 80s. It's been through many different phases, especially in parts of, the structure of the center. Its main goal initially was funding Greek films, and that remains one of the main purposes of the center. It is supervised and funded by the Ministry of Culture and Sports. And over the years, of course, apart from producing Greek films, it had also a very active role into promoting Greek films via its directorate, which is called Hellas Film. So Hellas Film has been around for many, many years, promoting Greek films abroad in festivals and markets. And also the Hellenic Film Commission is one of the divisions in the center, and it's responsible to actually attract and facilitate foreign productions, as well as facilitate Greek productions as well. There was a period that the Film Commission was running under Marcos Kolevas during 2007 until 2010, 11. It was a period when the first Mamma Mia was shot in Greece, among other productions. After that, there has been a gap for about 6 years, and then we started initiating the commission again in 2017. But over all these decades, the Greek Film Center has been quite a pioneer into funding Greek films, and obviously, being an old institution, is actually faced with the need to, change some things and follow the up-to-date development of production. We've seen so many talents of Greek producers and Greek filmmakers traveling abroad, being so successful, because the talent pool in Greece is immense, considering how low budget film funding is, state funding. So according to what's happening today, the Greek Film Center is very aware of the fact that it has to actually, you know, make a restart, and that's why a new legislation is about to commence pretty soon for the next day of the center.
What would you say the average cost of a Greek film is today? And when I say Greek film, I'm thinking of films that are shot on location in Greece, that are in the Greek language with Greek actors, and that even though I know those approaches are changing, right? So George Lanthimos has done certain things, and now he's doing things outside of Greece. Christos Kaliatis with Worlds Apart, even though it was shot in Greece, it starred J.K. Simmons, and it was a lot of the film was in English. But a Greek language film that's made primarily for the local market, even though those films do travel and get sold outside of Greece, is it half a million euros? Even
less, unfortunately. As I said earlier, the budgets in Greece are very, very low. Unfortunately, the Greek Film Center has, if not the lowest, maybe the second lowest state funding compared to the other European countries. And this is something that has started initially during the crisis years. Its state funding, its annual budget was much higher, and it's been fallen because of the crisis, and unfortunately it hasn't reached the stage where it used to be yet. So it's less than $500,000, the average budget of an average Greek film produced in Greece. Of course, you know, the establishment of EKOME and the initiative of the rebate is very, very important in that sense as well, because obviously it supports Greek productions. And I'm mentioning that because so far, before EKOME came up with a rebate, the only state funding sources for funding was the Greek Film Center and ERT, you know, the national broadcasting TV channel station. So, and that also during the crisis year stopped for quite a while. It has restarted again recently. So the sources of state funding have been very, very few, very, very limited, and very, very low. And we all struggle to change that. But as you'll know, at least in Europe, because you know the system in Europe versus the US system is completely different, because filmmaking in most European countries is state funded, whereas in the US is not. So in European countries, culture has been suffering over the years of crisis. It's, you know, all ministries of cultures have been the ones that their budgets are becoming less and less over the years. So it's a continuing struggle to convince policymakers to raise that budget. Something that I neglected to mention, and Konstantinos is very experienced in that respect, also I think Nikos and Faliro House as well, is that over the last at least decade, it's been a common reality that most European countries co-produce. So a lot of Greek films that have been produced over the years, particularly in the last decade, are co-productions with other European countries. And this is this is very important, especially when we have a co-production treaty with another country, with another state. So the funding is much more higher because it gets enhanced by other countries.
So Vasiliki, I'm going to turn to you if you can talk about EKOME. I know the new law was passed in early 2018. I think it went into effect in September 2018. Since then, in terms of the cash rebates, it went from 25 to 35. It's now 40, and since the cash rebate program, there's now a tax relief program that's in effect. So if you can talk about that a little bit.
Right. Well, yes. First of all, the new cash rebate program is official as of 2 days ago. So it's the first time we are actually speaking in public for the new program. The cash rebate system was initiated in early 2018, and the first version of the program provided a 25% return in eligible expenses incurred in Greece, and they saw that the implementation of the program was very successful. We started working closely with producers and stakeholders to help improve parts of the law that needed improvement. So a newer version of the law provided for a 35% rebate, which was effective in late 2018. And now we have a 40% cash rebate program, a cash return in eligible expenses, which also is very interesting for foreign productions, because with the new law, we have also a 35% return for the above the line expenses. So foreign productions will definitely benefit from that if they wish to include the above the line expenses in the Greek budget. And there are other details pertaining to the law that we could definitely discuss, but I don't want to bother you with details regarding the minimum spend for different types of productions, such as, you know, TV series, documentaries, digital games, etc. But one thing that we do, because we have funded almost 90 projects since the beginning of the program, and this is very important because, as Venia said, it is so interesting to see how Greeks, being that creative and that talented, can really benefit from simple but well implemented, strategically implemented programs that will allow for the correct type of funding and will enable them to go forward with their projects. The good thing about the cash rebate program is that it is an automatic funding, so we don't look at scenarios. For example, we have very simple rules. With the new law now, a project can apply as late as 10 days before the beginning of production works, and this is, I know this was very important for producers, and we're trying to make it as flexible as possible for basically for the benefit of the project, for the benefit of productions. It's what we see that, you know, with over 83 million euro invested in Greece, and with more than 25,000 jobs created, we are very optimistic about where this industry is heading. And one of the things that we do at EKOME, we look at the audiovisual industry in Greece as a whole thing. That's why we have two more strategic activities that are related to education and the digitization of audiovisual archives. And we are trying to create this, you know, unified ecosystem where a creative idea can be developed from beginning to end, and where you can have a solid project that you can promote to the world and be proud of what Greece is doing right now in terms of producing works. So I'm very excited about this because as Venia mentioned before, there are really important steps and important decisions to be taken, and the way we try to make laws better and more simplified and more modernized, basically, looking at best practices from all over the world. When we succeed to make these laws happen, we are able to, you know, build another level and help our professionals basically thrive So one more thing that I may add for the benefit of the discussion is that the tax relief program that is effective as of now is also a very interesting tool for people wishing to invest in audiovisual projects in Greece. Companies also that are willing to settle in Greece, big companies that are looking at the Greek market in a different way. And we've seen this because we've been in discussions with different companies for the last 2 years. And I know that the pandemic has deeply influenced the way the industry is functioning right now. But there's a keen interest in the Greek market, and I think that with the launch of the tax relief program, we will be attracting a lot more interest than before, and hopefully companies that were looking at Greece in order to come and invest and open a branch here will definitely benefit from what the tax relief program is offering, because it can be combined also with a cash rebate program for the purposes of a project. So
right. So I was going to ask you about the tax relief. So that's a benefit to the investor, and it sounds like the investor has to be an individual corporation that has a Greek ID.
Exactly. You have to be taxed in Greece, basically.
It's a deduction off of your net income and the taxes that you pay in Greece. So to the extent that the tax relief and the cash rebate could exceed 50% of the budget, it's not necessarily all going to the Greek production company. But if the financiers are going to have an interest in the film, so it's going to have that sort of benefit.
Yes, well, the whole idea behind the tax relief is to enable companies with bigger interest in the investment part to have a further incentive. So the requirement for the program is to be able to set up a special bank account in a Greek bank, and all the investment and the payments have to be made through this specific account. And the eligibility is the same. The eligible criteria are the same as a cash rebate, and everything is administered through EKOME. One thing that is definitely important to say is that we have a dedicated team here at EKOME that helps every single production, whether they come for the first time or for the second time. I mean, it's a technical thing, the rebate, it's a very technical thing. So we provide all the support that is needed in order to help productions achieve what they wish. So a production can come to us as early as they wish if they think that they're interested in benefiting from the program, and obviously as soon as they finish production works and they come to us to apply for the money, we also make sure to work with them closely in order to enable them to finish the process as soon as possible and get the money as soon as possible.
I was going to say, so for the filmmakers and the producers and the production companies who are represented on this call, I mean, this has to be encouraging and great news, because getting any project made is always held up with closing on the film financing. And so now with another source of funding, I'm assuming, and you can speak to this, that it's, I don't want to say it's easier, but it has to help to know that you can offset a lot of your costs. I'm going to open it up to Fani, Konstantinos, and Nikos to share some of your experiences making films before and after this program. Maybe I'll start with Nikos, because I know you worked with them, I think, on at least 3 films, if I'm not mistaken.
As I said before, I have 3 programs now with EKOME. And from the beginning of this program, the program of EKOME, my partner and me were feeling like European producers that we don't have this feeling before. This program helped us very much, and we would like that maybe also the Greek Film Center work for the co-production, minority co-production at the same time, like EKOME. Even in the past, the program was very bureaucracy. I have a lot of issues, a lot of papers, a lot of documents, etc., etc. As I learned 2 days ago, the new issues is that it will be more easier and needs less work from our side. And it's important for us because also the deadlines and the days that we use. And this program for us is very helpful. It's, as I said before, it's we feel like we are European producers, because in other way, they ask us what you could bring in a production in the previous years. We don't say what we can bring in a co-production, because the Greek Film Center answered very hard and with a very big delay, and also the same make the national broadcasters ERT. It's very important for us that we could, in the past, when say past, I mean the last year, we apply for the EKOME program, and we have an answer after 2 months. And now, as I learned, we could have after 10 days. This is something that happened in all Europe, and you could have an answer quickly. And if your submission is good, like I mean, like a technical way, you could have a very you could have a positive answer at once.
So A Simple Man was I think Faliro House is involved in that production as well. Was that an international co-production?
Yes, as also Konstantinos said before, we don't know anything else to make than co-productions. All of our films or of our production is a co-production.
So was it
Even
a French company?
Even is a Greek production that is have some other co-producers, or we are like minority co-producers. To make a co-production is one way. There is no other way. You cannot make a film in our time and demand it that your film travel all around the world and you make a national film. It must be an international film with 1, 2, 3 co-producers. This is one way of production.
Right. So to our, for our viewers, Simple Man is playing in the festival. So if you haven't watched it, hopefully you can find some time to see that movie. And I'll go next to Fani, because Faliro House I know was involved with that film. I think the 2 other films you have is Defunct in the festival and Not to Be Unpleasant. But we must have a serious talk. So those are also playing in the festival. But Faliro House is, doing a lot of interesting things. And I was just curious, before you sort of answer my initial question, just go back to Simple Man as an international co-production. Was that with France? And
Which one?
A Simple Man. Was that a French-Greek co-production?
Yes, it's a French and it's a Italian co-production and Serbian.
So was it just that you pre-sold the film in those territories and found financing from those countries, or with no act?
We have only, it's not financing by money, it's financing by equipment and other facilities.
Great. All right. So Fani, why don't you maybe speak more broadly just what Faliro House's relationship is with EKOME and the Film Center, and really where the company is today. Are they making Greek films, or are they really looking to just do, sign on as an executive producer or provide some financing and other technical expertise? Because Faliro House seems to be making a big, putting a stake in the ground here in the United States, doing a lot of interesting work with some other, domestic companies.
Mm-hmm. So Faliro House has different projects on different stages of development going on right now, but at the same time, we're very much focused on providing production services for production companies who come from abroad and want to shoot in Greece. So we have an excellent working relationship both with EKOME and with the Hellenic Film Commission. And I must say that they're both very, very helpful in all kinds of requests when we have a film from abroad being shot in Greece. So the EKOME cash rebate has definitely put Greece on the map of international film services, and there has been a lot of requesting films getting shot in Greece since 2017, 2018 that the program has been on. So yeah, I think we can definitely build on this incentive and have more projects coming in and educate people and have even better professionals, and that we all get improved on this field.
Konstantinos, how's it been for Heretic working with that command film sector?
Well, I would say excellent on both sides, but the Greek Film Center is our natural partner. We're a film production company. The Greek Film Center has been here for decades. They are the national body for the implementation and of the national film policy in the country. So it's a partner on many, many levels, not just funding. If we need any kind of help with, especially, as younger producers, when we're starting out with training programs that they could support us to attend, with helping us promote our work abroad, it's an institution with a larger scope than funding. The fact that EKOME came into the picture may solidify Greece as a country with a solid and rich not just in terms of resources, because we're not that rich, but rich in terms of the infrastructure, destination. As a company, we co-produce. So our artistic and creative involvement in the projects that we work with is key. And in that sense, having a selective fund like the Greek Film Center, whose stamp also ensures quality, and a financial incentive like EKOME that solidifies the financial structure and an input that we can bring to a project, makes us, like Nico said, feel like world-class producers, which is very important. So I would say that as far as I'm concerned, a healthy film environment needs both a national organization that is implementing the national policy regarding audiovisual work, which is what the Greek Film Center does in the country, and the financial incentives that EKOME can bring.
Outside the sources of funding that the Film Center and EKOME offer, how are you getting your movies made? Are you just, is it independently financed by the company? You're deficit financing your films? Are you raising monies from investors in and outside of Greece? Or how much of a pre-sale market is there for the films that you make with the Greek stations and other
there's not just one way. I mean, when we talk about Greek films, For instance, we have there are some key partners. Of course, the Greek Film Center is one of them. ERT, our national broadcaster. These are the two pillars of film funding in Greece. They are selective, so you have to go through a selection procedure with them. You apply with your projects, and there's committees that evaluate the project and decide whether you receive the financing or not. There are private sources that you can turn to, either broadcasters or distribution companies. It always depends on the type of project, on the type of film we're talking about. And of course, there is EKOME, which is a financial incentive that is based on the costs. So what you spend is what you get, and we're very happy to hear that the 40% rule is implemented. Is it voted in the parliament, Vasiliki? Yeah, good. And then besides that, there's not one blueprint in making and producing or financing a film. Every film has its own way. Every film has its own universe, its own demands, its own potential, and its own, and it will find its partners. I mean, we've had all types of partners and contributions in our films, either from private, public, from contribution in terms in kind contributions to private equity, to anything. It's not one way. So you have to be inventive, and you have to find the right way of building the financing structure of your film. And as I said earlier, we feel that fortunately we've reached a stage where we have a structure in the country that works all the way.
So I mean, not only sort of there's the new law, but it seems like it's really a change in philosophy, right? Looking to the film industry as a means to grow the Greek economy in a way that happens outside of Greece, and the sort of proof of concept of that all over the place. And I know you've looked at that carefully and closely as you put together these programs. So maybe Vasiliki, maybe you can sort of speak to, how it works if there's going to be more international co-productions coming out of Greece, or also being now shot in Greece and being eligible for these funds. If they're getting financing from other countries, does that impact what they're eligible for?
Well, yes. First of all, we attract productions from abroad in terms of attracting foreign investment. As Konstantinos said, the rebate is a financial tool, but it has a spillover effect in the industry. So when we look at a project, if it has private sources of financing, it's fine. We don't interfere with that. We just need to have a project that has already stated its financial plan, that it's actually ready to come and shoot. And one of the things that we're looking at is if a project has received public money from EU member countries, because we are obliged by European Union law to monitor the extent to which a project can combine different pockets, let's say, from taxpayers' money across the European Union. It can reach up to a certain point. So we have different percentages for that. But one of the things that this new law has also altered is that if you're a new director, if your project is difficult, as we call a new project that is actually shot, for example, in Greek, then you can go up to 80% of your budget that you can combine sources from different countries across Europe. We are looking at statistics at you know, through these almost 2.5 years of the implementation of the program, and we see that we have almost equal demand, both from abroad and domestically, because also domestic projects are benefiting from the program, namely TV series, and also we will be able to see more documentaries now, and even short films in the program, because the floor for eligibility is even lower now. But for us, it is very important to highlight the importance of our human element. So when we receive requests from productions from different parts of the world, they're not just looking at incentives, they're not just looking at the way we operate the incentives or what is the environment of filming in general in the country. They're also looking at our professionals, our infrastructure, our facilities, our permits processes, and we're working very closely both with the Hellenic Film Commission, especially for the permitting process, which is key to facilitating a production, and because this translates also to money, and as technocratic as it sounds, every production is a financial project, basically. So the way we support our base, it's also very important. That's why at EKOME we implement programs for professional training for crews, and we are also initiating different educational programs now for reskilling of professionals, or for skilling high school graduates wishing to develop a professional activity in the industry. We use the incentives and the success of the program as an entry point to Greece. And because we are very happy about the fact that with the creation of EKOME, with the implementation of the cash rebate program, we opened a discussion about where we want to see the audiovisual production and the audiovisual industry in Greece in a few years from now. And the coronavirus pandemic is also a period for reflection for all professionals, even for state institutions such as ourselves, and people involved in making great films or great video games, any sorts of projects. And the good thing about this scenario now is that when the whole industry starts working again, being active again, we will be there ready, because when we started 2.5 years ago, we entered a fully developed industry, and we had to present ourselves and show good credentials. And as Venia mentioned before, the fact that we see more and more projects being noticed and receiving awards in different festivals and different markets is only indicative to the fact that we're doing a good job. So I think that we sort of become interlocutors now in this big industry, and I'm very, very proud and very, very excited about how things are developing.
So look, we are at we're at the top of the hour. I know, Vasiliki, you may have to step out. We started about 5 minutes late. I'd like to
it's fine.
another 5 minutes, but if you,
I can hold for 5 more minutes. Yeah.
Not too many. A few questions that I'll ask that the attendees have posed, but just to Nikos and Konstantinos and Fani, I have a question. I mean, pre-COVID, did you have projects slated for production in 2020 that now, even though things are open in Greece and people are producing, is it delayed you to the point where some of your 2020 projects are just going to roll into 2021?
Who goes first? Fani?
I'm in shooting now. We have a small delay of some projects of 2 months, but we continue. It's a lot of projects continue like
those films in 2020.
yes, we'll make it. We have to finish the co-production with Turkey and France. That we have also the support of EKOME, and we waiting the support of Greek Film Center a year now, and also we have the support of Eurimaz, and we have another project that we are now on shooting, and we finished these days, and also a mini TV series that we continue with, we co-produce with ERT. And all these projects have a small delay of 2 months, that's it. We think that even the situation is not good, not only in Greece is good, but in other countries not good about the coronavirus. And we think that is a good opportunity to finish films now. If you have the passion and the try to finish the films. You have to do that.
Konstantinos is.
Yes, we had this year. We only had international films shootings happening here. 3 of them. We had to postpone all 3 of them because they were all scheduled to shoot in, well, basically spring and beginning of summer, which was impossible. We managed to, as soon as the borders opened, because we're talking about foreign films that we are co-producing, and a big part of whom had to be shot in Greece, if not all of them, and one of them is the entire project is shot here. So we, as soon as the borders opened here, we managed to start resume production on one of them. We were the first international shooting to happen in Europe, cross-country, not cross-country, in from one country to the other. I don't know what the word is in English. Yeah, we made it. It was a German film with German, Italian, and of course Greek cast and crew that we shot. We actually wrapped the shoot last Friday. We are doing it with the support of EKOME and the help of the Hellenic Film Commission. And now we are organizing and prepping the two other projects that I talked about. One of them is Spanish. It's shot entirely in Greece. And the other one is Swedish, which is going to be shot, half of it, well, let's say 60% of it is shot here. And they're both scheduled for September, October, the coming September, October. So hopefully, COVID allowing, we'll make it.
Fani?
So we didn't have to postpone any shootings during COVID. We didn't find ourselves in this unfortunate position. But we have something scheduled for September, and I hope that everything's going to go well and that we'll be able to do it.
Are there protocols that are required in terms of how many people on set and what you're seeing in Los Angeles and in New York and other states, right, that are mandating masks and the whole thing? I'm assuming that the same is true in Greece.
There is a protocol. There is a protocol issued by the Ministry of Culture that we have to follow. It doesn't have a mandatory nature. It's but as far as we were concerned, in our shoot, we followed it. We fully followed, and we actually took some extra measures that were not provided by the protocol.
If I may add something here, George, and I have to accept to emphasize on the fact that I witnessed this shooting on the island of Morgos by Heretic, of this German-Italian-Greek co-production, and it was amazing the fact that they was so professional and efficient in terms of applying new practices on the measures that had to be taken, and even extra measures, because you have to bear in mind that each country is applying a different protocol. So when it comes to co-productions, a lot of extra care has to be taken. And on that respect, I would like to add that it is really important that Greece has handled the pandemic so well that we didn't lose any production. So no production left the country. They only postponed and rescheduled shooting. And this is really important because we have a lot of interest from abroad, from productions which were about to be shooting in other European and Mediterranean countries and actually changed their schedule and chose Greece instead of the initial country. So we consider that a big victory, and we're very proud of that. The Hellenic Film Commission over the pandemic has been receiving requests on a daily basis from producers all over the world on how things are going, if there's a protocol, and we've been directing them in terms of, you know, flights, incoming flights, what is allowed, what is not. And we consider that it will be, you know, a period pretty soon within the next season that we will see a lot of production, a lot of traffic, and we are very, hopefully, very, you know, enthusiastic about it.
When some of these foreign productions decide to come to Greece instead of going elsewhere, are they changing the story so that it's set in Greece, or is it Greece doubling for some other country?
Not necessarily. It depends. In some case, initially they were looking for a Mediterranean location, so it wasn't that difficult for them to reschedule and change the locations. But even since you mentioned that, it's really important to say that it's also another issue that the Hellenic Film Commission is very proud of, is the fact that, and also Heretic should be proud of that, among other companies, so many, and Faliro House production as well, so many locations in Greece have been used to showcase other countries. Like The Little Drummer Girl was shot in Greece, showcasing Greece, Palestine, so other places which I don't remember right now, even Italy, I think,
Italy.
And Lebanon as well, right? And also Heretic show a Danish production that was shot on the island of Crete, on the mountains, showcasing a Syrian location. So this is a very important selling point of Greece. Greece is well known for its iconic, stereotypical landmark, you know, Cycladic islands, for the archaeological sites, which are really important and play a key role into attracting productions. But at the same time, it has a variety of landscapes and a variety of architecture that can host so many different genres and so many different productions. So we are very keen on explaining that to producers when they're asking questions about Greece, because the Hellenic Film Commission works as a one-stop service point where they can, get networking with other production companies in Greece, filming permits processes. We explain to them what's the procedure with authorities. We work very closely with authorities to make the context of permitting much friendlier. So all these have changed a lot over the last couple of years, and combined with a rebate, which is an automatic funding, combined with a selective funding, which is operated by the Greek Film Center. And we all see that this difference is evident. Heretic has been awarded by the European Academy a couple of years ago as the best European company. It wasn't a long time ago when we were still talking about whether or not Greek films can, have a life in festivals, getting away from the borders of Greece. And we see now that not only they are capable, but they get amazing awards and they expose amazing talents.
What's interesting to me, I guess, as an outsider is, you see films like Born Identity or Mamma Mia, which I mentioned, or Troy, Alexander, these other projects being shot outside of Greece in locations that are meant to stand in for Greece. And it's just like, to me, it's like, I get it. It's driven by sort of financing considerations, but it just sort of defeats the purpose. Like, why not be in Greece if you're trying to shoot and showcase the country? There's obviously.
Can I enter? Sorry, Vasiliki.
I just remembered also a TV series that was shot in January in Athens, and 90% of the TV series was shot entirely in Athens, and it's supposed to be taking place in Tehran, in Iran, from an Israeli production company, and it's been sold to Apple TV. So I think it's going to be very exciting to watch how Athens translates to so many different locations.
Right.
Can I just say, because I saw a question in our forum from one of our attendees, asking if this whole COVID measures increased our budgets and where they can find information on what the measures they need to take for Greece. I have to say, yes, of course, it raises budgets because you have to take provisions that were not there before. There is a protocol, and I think it's been translated in English. I'm not sure if Venia, if you have it on your website or if you're in position to provide it to people.
It's available on our website, but it's also available on the EKOME site as well. So in both websites, it's over there available in English.
And if you read it, you would understand what the precautions that we need to take during the shoot. But it does raise budget, and the thing is that if you are to start a production having this in your mind, okay. But in our case, in all of the films that we were doing, we had no provision as such in our budget. We had to create room in our budget to finance these new measures. You basically need to you have a new department in your crew. We used to have like the art department, the production department, the sound department. Now we need to have the COVID department, basically.
Well, I guess we can end there. I just want to thank everyone again for staying late and being part of this panel. One other question that did get asked was if there was a one-stop shop website in Greece that organizations like the Hellenic Film Society or other Greek organizations could promote and be more of a partner in what it is that is happening in the country. I mean, I know I've been to the Hellenic Film Commission site, I've been to the EKOME site. There's a lot of great information. Obviously, all the production companies have websites and have all their projects listed. But is there a website that's like the main website that where one would go to just start there to learn all these things?
It is the Film Commission website, and I saw the question of one of our attendees asking about visas and all that. The reason why we don't inform people over our website about this, because considering which country is interested to come in, the status of visa changes. So one has to consult the embassy of each country to see what's the status of visa for entering the country. The Hellenic Film Commission website is informing people not only about the industry guide, but also about the filming permits and about other international productions that have been shooting in Greece, with testimonials by previous producers shooting there. Also about the locations. There's a locations database that shows the span of locations in Greece. And of course, it's an ongoing process that it's getting informed more and more as the years go by.
Well, again, thank you, everyone. This was very interesting, and a lot's changed in the past 5 years for sure. And you know, I think there was like maybe 40 national films shot in 2015, and I'm sure that number has gone up. And 5-10 years from now, it's going to continue to drive a lot of the industry in Greece. So I think that's everyone has the right interests at heart here. So thank you, and congratulations to all the filmmakers for the quality work that's coming out of Greece, and we're happy to feature them this year in our virtual festival. So I'm sure this is the beginning of an ongoing conversation. We look forward to doing more of these in the future. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.